Hi everyone, Jacquie Edwards here for Live at Lunchtime. Thank you very much for joining me today. I'm in a little bit different location. This is my, the short-term accommodation. So this is one of my rent-to-rent properties. It's attached to one of our HMOs, but it's a self-contained one-bedroom flat. So we have this right now that we let out on Airbnb, as we're kind of the service accommodation model. So this is our trial run at service accommodation to see if it's something we enjoy doing and want to pursue. To be honest, I'm not really all that keen on it. It's a bit more work and a bit more management, and you need more systems in place. So I don't know if I've talked about this before or done a post on it, but I see service accommodation as kind of the next step up from just a plain rent-to-rent with HMO. You have to, it's the next step up in business of having more systems in place, having more team members in place. So it works quite well for us right now. We've got a cleaner that comes and takes care of everything in between tenants, does all the laundry and sets everything up so it looks great. And we've got the key safe so that the new tenants can come in. So I don't really have to do a lot. But we probably just haven't done that great of a job. It doesn't make us loads and loads of money. It makes a little bit, so it ticks over. It makes a little bit of money, but I don't think I want to get into doing it as a big business, basically. But for now, it's quite nice. It's near the city center of Oxford. We didn't have any bookings for this kind of past week, so I decided to just come and stay here. It's got a lot faster internet than I've got at my house out in the countryside, so that's been really nice. And it's just nice to be close to the city center. I can walk into Oxford and have a bit of a wander around. So it's been quite nice staying here. We spent the weekend. I'm spending tonight, and then I've got to make sure everything's tidy because we've got somebody coming to stay on Thursday. So yeah. It's also going to be nice because my mom's coming to visit in a few weeks, so we'll probably stay here. Hi, Mom. Have a look around. We're going to spend a bit of time here so we can hang out in Oxford. Yeah. So anyways, today I just wanted to talk briefly about locks. I did have a question from somebody about locks as well, and I just had a meeting with my property manager. Another nice thing is my property manager just popped by, so we had a bit of a meeting here to kind of talk about where everything's at now. It's been a really busy summer, so we haven't had a chance to catch up much, so this was a good time because we do have lots of changes in our business happening, so I'll talk about them further on in the week as we kind of decide what's happening. So, lock systems. We use a master key system. I probably have spoken about this before. We use a master key system, which means that I have one key that opens every lock in every property that I have. It makes it so much easier. It's a bit more expensive to set up in the beginning, but it makes everything so much easier. I've got that key. I don't have to worry about dragging 100 keys around with me. My property manager has that key, so she can easily get in and take care of things. My handyman has that key, so again, he can easily get in and take care of things. So it just makes the whole process lots easier. It's more secure for the tenants. The tenants can't make copies or duplicates of their keys. So when they hand back their key at the end of the tenancy, I know that nobody else has a key. So little things like that just make everything easier in the process. So where can you get master key systems? We just got ours through our local locksmith, so you don't have to really go anywhere special to do it. Just have a chat with your local locksmith. I would suggest chatting with a few of them because once you decide on one and go with the master key system, you need to use them for all of your kind of future master keys just because it is a patented system that's kind of all set up ahead of time. So they'll have to kind of key it and set up any new houses that you put on the system. So pick a good locksmith that's going to be around for a while, that has reasonable rates. I would say I've seen a couple different options that, so we pay quite a bit upfront for our systems, but our kind of cost of replacement, so if we do have to replace any keys, any charges like that, it's a lot lower, where I've heard of some people it might be a little bit lower to set up initially, but any keys that they need to make copies of are like £50 or something. So, chat through all the different options. How much does each barrel cost? How much does it cost to make keys and get keys replaced? How long does it take them to get the locks, to install them? Because our manufacturer, our locksmith, has to order them from a manufacturer, so it can take 4 or 5 weeks for them to get the locks to be able to install them in our properties, which sometimes isn't ideal. So just chat through timings, cost of setup, cost of keys, cost of any kind of replacements, cost of installation. Also, there's a couple different types of master key systems, so make sure they understand the different types and can walk you through them. Basically, the barrel of the master key or the barrel of the lock, it doesn't really matter what kind of lock you have on your door, whether it's one of the like the round Yale type locks that go up at the top and have the little latch, or if it's just a normal type of lock that you put like a skeleton key in. Let me just turn it around. You can see it here on the door. So you can put the, I don't know, I can't zoom in, but we've got the lock on there. You can see the thumb turn. So below the handle, it's got the kind of skeleton key lock. You can put a new handle on and change that into your master key lock. We've got it installed below. So that thumb turn lock there, that's on our master key system. You can also do it on the Yale type locks that go up at the top that have the latch. So it doesn't matter what kind of locking system you have. You generally can put your master key system in there. You'll just have to have the locksmith come around, measure, and make sure they order the right type of parts. So again, just work with a nice local locksmith, I recommend. I do like doing business locally. So work with your local locksmith, make sure they can understand what you're asking and that they understand the different types of systems. You can get systems that the tenants can make duplicates of their keys. I would recommend you get the one where they can't make duplicates. There's 2 different sizes from what I understand. My locksmith chatted to me and said, you know, how many locks are you going to need? If you're going to need more than 100, then we have to go with this other system. If you're going to need less than 100, then we can go with the cheaper system. But because with an HMO, each bedroom has an individual lock, for us, we're at over 100 rooms now with kind of 20 properties. So think about that type of thing as well. Yeah, but your local locksmith will be able to walk you through it. The cost is going to vary depending on what your locksmith charges and which type of system you get. I would say we're looking at, for us, probably about £50, £100 a lock. We have 5, 6, 7, yeah. We pay between £1,000, maybe £800 to £1,500 per property. And again, some of that cost is changing the handles and changing some of the locking mechanisms as well, because some of the properties are a little bit worn out. Plus adding the locks and all the keys and everything. So hopefully you found that helpful. That's my little update about locks and master keys. I've also got an article in YPN magazine this month talking about locks. So if you haven't checked out your YPN magazine this month and last month, it was a 2-part series. So check that out to kind of walk through some systems on keys. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you again tomorrow.